Om Vakratunda Mahakayam Suryakoti Samaprabham Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvina Vadhetamastu ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Continuing, the last class we saw that the Arjuna ordered Bhagavan Krishna, the charioteer Krishna, to place a chariot in between the two armies, in the midst of the two armies. Senayogo Ubayogo Madhye Stapaya, Meratam Stapaya. Why did he say that? Because he wants to see the people who have assembled there, who have come there, the desire to fight, with the intention to fight, and also to please Duryodhana. To please Duryodhana, they have decided to take the sides of. They have decided to form alliance with Duryodhana to please him, wanting to please Duryodhana. So they have come to the battlefield. So therefore Arjuna, he wants to see all of them. Particularly he wants to see the army of the Kauravas, because he is well informed about his army. He wants to have a quick look of who and all have joined Duryodhana's side. Maybe his own friends, the king's friends, his relatives, common to Kauravas and Pandavas, because Duryodhana insisted or wanting to please Duryodhana. That is the Yuddhe Priyachaki Irshavaha, wanting to please Duryodhana, because Duryodhana is the Raja now, is a prince. Dhritarashtra is the Raja, means Duryodhana is, in fact, is a ruler. He was ruling, in fact, Yastinapura. Dhritarashtra is only for namesake. Angahinaha Dhritarashtraha, just for namesake, he was seated on the throne, but actually it is Duryodhana who is ruling. So therefore, taking the side of the ruling party, some people, maybe the people who are well known to Arjuna, they have taken the sides. So therefore, Arjuna wanted to see all of them. So therefore, the next shloka tells who are all present. And what did Arjuna see? Arjuna sees only his kith and kin. Now that Arjuna could see those who had come to fight on both sides clearly, we shall see what happened to them. What happened to him? Let us read shloka number 26. Tatra pashya sthitan parthaha.
Tatra pashyat sthitan parthaha
Pitrunatha pitamahan
Pitrunatha pitamahan
Acharyan matulan bhratrun
Acharyan madulan pratrun
Putran Pautran Sakimstatha
Putran Pautran Sakhinsthatha
Shvashuran Suhrudaschaiva
Shvashuram Suhrudaschaiva
Senayorubhayorapi
Senayorubhayorapi
Tatra Apashyat Kaha Partha. This is the shloka where you will find Partha. Generally, Partha, the word, the padam you will find in the Gita as Sambodhana, a Partha. But here, Partha as a subject is in Pratama Vibhakti. Generally, it will be Sambodhana, Sambodhana Pratama. Here it is Pratama Vibhakti, is a Karta. Partha, Arjunaha, Dhananjayaha, Apashyat, Stitan Apashyat, he saw the people. Stitan, he saw the Stitan assembled. He saw the people who have assembled. Who are they? Pitrun, Pitrun, Pitamahan, Acharyan, Matulan, Bhratrun, Putran, Pautran, Sakin, Shvashuran, Sughrudaha, Cha, Senayogo, Ubayogo, Senayogo, Ubayogo, Api assembled in the. Here, Senayogo, Ubayogo, Api means assembled in the two armies, not in between the two armies. Assembled in the two armies, he saw these people who are all Pitrun. It is Pitrun is elders here, elders on the paternal side. Pitamahan, grandfathers. Acharyas, Kripacharya, Dronacharya. Matula, uncles. Bhratrun, Bhrata, brothers. Sons, Putra, Pautran, grandsons. Sakin, friend. Shvashrun, fathers in law. And Suhrut, well wishers. All this he could see. All this he could see assembled on both sides of the army. Atha, then Arjuna saw standing there on both sides of the two armies paternal elders, grandfathers, teachers, uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, and fathers in law and friends too. The word Kuru in the previous verse covered the Kauravas on both sides, all of whom were the members of the Kuru clan. In the previous shloka, Uvacha Partha Pashyetan Samaveta Kurun iti Krishna Uvacha. Krishna told, see the Kurus. So Kuru means not only the Kauravas, not only Duryodhana, even Pandavas are also, because Kuru is Kuru Vamsha, the dynasty. They are all the they come under the lineage of Kuru Vamsha, members of the Kuru dynasty clan. Therefore, the word Kuru in the previous shloka, where Sri Krishna he told Arjuna, having parked the vehicle in the midst of the two armies, he said, Pashaitan, Samavetan, Kuru Niti, see the Kurus. So, therefore, the Kuru. So, the previous shloka, the word Kurun covers the Kauravas on both sides. Looking around him, Arjuna saw every one of them, all elders, connected to him from the paternal, maternal sides, parents, uncles, brothers, sons, and grandsons, all directly or indirectly. Directly or indirectly, they are connected to Arjuna. In fact, nobody is an enemy. Everybody is Bandavaha. It's all connected. Arjuna has got some connection, some relation with them. They are relatives. In addition to these blood relatives, there were others too, fathers-in-law, friends. There were relatives and blood relatives. So all are connected. Bandavaha eva. Arjuna also saw friends, in-laws on both sides, and those people who help others without having been introduced or being connected in any way, Suhrus. Suhrut means well-wishers. Everywhere he saw only relatives, friends, and good people. Who is really is Arjuna's enemy is this Duryodhana and Dushasana. And all the other people are his friends, his relatives. So, for the sake of these two people, now you have to face the whole crowd. They are connected to Arjuna in one way or the other. Either they are blood relatives or they are distant relatives. Therefore, Bandavaha eva. Generally, such people would be on your side, and those against whom you are fighting would be enemies, invaders, and outsiders. Here, however, Arjuna found on both sides only his own people. This is something he discovered in the midst of the battlefield. He did not think before coming to the war because he had only Duryodhana in his mind. He had Duryodhana is only his mind. He had only the intention to get back the kingdom. But when he came to the battlefield, and that too, the Krishna, he placed the vehicle in such a position. From there, he could see all, and they are all his own people. So therefore, Arjuna found on both sides only his own people. This was his problem, which was not an ordinary one. Really, this situation is an extraordinary situation where he found himself to be going to fight with his own people. Whichever way he turned, he saw only his own brothers, uncles, and cousins. This problem represented an important situation for Arjuna and was the reason for Gita to come about. We discussed in the last class. So, such a situation is provides a context for Gita to be born. So, therefore, Arjuna, in the beginning, he refrained from fighting the war. It was not because of his cowardice, because he could see only his friends and relatives. He didn't want to kill them. Therefore, he wanted to withdraw from the battle. So it is a valid reason. In fact, anybody in that situation would have collapsed. But Arjuna, at least, he came to his sense when Bhagavan Krishna he rebuked Arjuna. It's going to come in the next chapter. He invoked the Kshatriya in Arjuna and made him fight. That was the action required at that in that point of life. And because of Krishna, inspired by Krishna, propelled by Krishna, Arjuna did his karma, swadharma, his duty of being a Kshatriya fighting the war. Otherwise, Arjuna would have got this reputation. His name would have been a black mark in the history of Mahabharata. So, therefore, this problem represented an important situation for Arjuna and was the reason for Gita to come about. Recognizing that everyone who had come to fight was related to him, Arjuna naturally he was overwhelmed with compassion. He came to fight, but now he was overwhelmed with compassion. This compassion is not cowardice. Compassion is different. Arjuna, a great warrior, equipped with all the divine weapons, master in archery, he could have defeated all the people in no time. But now it's not a question of about his bravery. It is a question of his compassion. He was overwhelmed with compassion. The people who were standing on the opposite sides were not his enemies. They were his own people. Therefore, his compassion is valid. Therefore, now the next shloka, 26th shloka, what happens seeing the people on both sides of the army who are connected to him? Now its reaction. That is, he is overwhelmed with compassion. That is described in the next shloka, shloka number 27. Let us read. Tan samikshasa kaunteyaha
Tham samikshya sakonteyaha
sarvan bandhu navasthitan
sarvan bandhunavasthitan
kripaya paraya pishtaha
कृपया भरयाविष्टः
विषीदन्निदमब्रवीत.
विषीदन्नेदमब्रवीत्.
Here also, Kaunteya, generally Kaunteya is the word you will see in the Gita as a Sambodhana. Here Kaunteya, Kuntyaha putraha Kaunteya, the son of Kunti. Tan samikshya, samyak ikshya, having seen, drishtva ityartaha, drishdhatu, pashyati, apashyat, having seen, drishtva, samikshya, tan referring to, tan is a pronoun referring to the people mentioned above. Who are they? Pitran, Putran, Pautran, Pitamahan, Acharyan, Matulan, Bratran, all those. Tan, Samikshya, having seen them. Who are they? They are Sarvan, Bandun, Avastitan. All the people who have assembled there, they are relatives. Bandun, Avastitan, Bandun. All the relatives were assembled in both sides, on both sides of the army. Therefore, Kripaya Paraya Vishtaha, Paraya Kripaya Avishtaha. He was overwhelmed with compassion. Paraya, a great compassion is a deep compassion. Paraya Kripaya. Vishidan, therefore, worrying, Abraveet. Vishidan is Dukkitaha. He became sorrowful. Having become sorrowful, Abraveet. He told. Whom did he tell? He told the charioteer, that is Krishna. Then he, the son of Kunti, Arjuna, seeing clearly all the assembled relatives, seized by deep compassion, sorrowfully said these words. Arjuna's compassion was born of distress because what was going to happen was destruction. And all the people who would be involved were his own people. So, therefore, his compassion was too much for him. This was not some small matter that could be dismissed in the interest of practicality simply because war had been declared. Yes, it's a valid point. Because war had been declared, you cannot dismiss this compassion. You destroy them and they will go forever. Your own relatives, kith and kin. So therefore, when such thoughts of compassion come, they are generally dismissed by people. If we know something is not proper, we can usually say what has to be done has to be done. This battlefield was not the place for compassion. Arjuna could not afford to be compassionate here. He had to fight. In the same way, a boxer cannot afford to be compassionate towards his opponent. If, because his opponent is bleeding, the boxer's compassion prevents him from hitting him, the boxer himself will be knocked down. Certainly, seeing his opponent's blood, the thought will come that this is not proper. This is not the proper time or place to hit him. But then another thought comes. This is exactly the right time and place to strike. Instinct will tell him this, some killer instinct. Any mercy or compassion is quickly dismissed in such situations. So this is a problem. This is a fight between the compassion and the situation. The situation demands war, fight, killing. But the what comes seeing them is compassion. So there is a fight. As it happens in the boxing game, so here also, at least in the boxing game, it is going, you are not going to kill them. But here the war, you are not going to see your people after the war. The war lasted for 18 days. After the 18 days, nobody was left out. Everybody gone. So therefore, even though the battlefield is not the place for, is not the place to entertain compassion, but if it had it been enemies, then Arjuna would not have felt compassionate, but not enemies. Therefore, his compassion is valid. He could not dismiss his compassion. So therefore, kripa is compassion. Karuna, kripa. What is that? Is this is what is meant by the word kripa? The Srilinga, kripaya, paraya, and the kripa is paraya. It is deep, huge. Compassion that is dismissible. However, when you cannot dismiss it, it becomes parakripa, overwhelming compassion. So the kripa as an adjective, paraya kripaya, tritiya vibhakti. overpowered by deep compassion, compassion which is deep, which is overwhelming, which he could not dismiss. Arjuna could not do anything about his compassion, which was born of distress, sorrow, dukkam, because of the impending destruction about to befall of his own people. What is going to befall? What is going to happen? And that what is going to happen is a complete destruction on both sides. Therefore, he could not dismiss his compassion. Compassion overpowered him. Parakripa. Parakripa. Parayakripaya avishtaha Arjunaha. Therefore, overwhelmed by, overpowered by, over it is overruled by compassion. Arjuna says, Shloka 28th Shloka. Arjuna Vavacha
Arjuna Uvacha
Drishtve Swajanam Krishna
Vishthavemam Svajanam Krishna
Yuyutsum Samupastitam
Yuyutsum Samupasthitam
Sidanti Mama Gatrani
Sidanti Mama Gatrani
Mukham Cha Parishushyati
Mukham Cha Parishushyate
Vepatuscha Sharire Me
Vepatuscha Sharire Me
Maharshascha Jayate.
Romaharshascha Jayate.
Here also, wherever Shakara is there is typo in this document. So you can refer the transliteration. Arjuna Uvacha. What did he say? Drishtva. Again here, Drishtva imam swajanam bandavaha swasya janam. His own people. Swajanam. My own people. Mama janam. Mama janaha. My people. Having seen this, my people, E Krishna, Krishna Sambodhana. Yuyutsum samupastitam. Yodum ichuhu yuyutsu. Yuyutsum samupastitam, who have assembled here with a desire to fight. Yuyutsum, desire is the desire to fight, who have assembled there. Seeing them, what happens to me? Hey Krishna, you know, Sidanti Mamagatrani, Mamagatrani, Mamagatrani Sidanti. My limbs, Gatra, my name is Angani, Indriyani, Angani, limbs, Sidanti, falls apart. It loses his strength. Mukam cha parishishyati. All these are signs of his compassion overpowering him. My mouth has become dry, and there is trepidation, tremble. Vepatuscha sharire me. Romaharshascha jayate. Vepat, my body is trembling. Trepidation all over my body. And my body and my hair. Roma is hair. Kesha is hair on the head. Roma or Loma is hair on the body. The hair on the body, the hair on my body stands on, and it is horripilation. It's all the signs of his emotion, the compassion. The compassion which manifests in the form in the stula sharir, his body. He lost his strength. This compassion is the mind. The effect of the mind seen in the body. The manifestation of his emotion, which is seen in the body. Gatrani sidanti, limbs. The angas losing their strength. He could not even hold his sword, hold his bow, arrow. Mukam cha parishishyati, mouth has become dry. And vepatuscha sharira, body is trembling. And there is horripilation all over my body. This is not the sign of a kshatriya. A person coming to war to fight his enemy, and that enmity is so, hostility is so strong with the Duryodhana and Dushasana, that the intense hostility being there. Therefore, with what vengeance, with what anger Arjuna would have come to fight. Now, what happened to him? Totally a different picture now because of compassion, because he was overpowered by compassion, taken over by compassion, hijacked by compassion, hijacked by compassion. So his condition has become totally opposite, totally different, totally different. That doesn't befit a person. That doesn't befit a kshatriya, and the two had come to the war field. So therefore, yeah, Arjuna said, looking at these people, my own people, well stationed and well assembled in battle position and desirous to fight, my limbs have lost all their strength. My mouth has gone dry. My body is trembling, and the hairs on my body are standing on end. That is horripilation. Thus, under the spell of such a deep compassion, Parakrupa, he said to Krishna, Arjuna said to Krishna, looking at my own people who have come with a desire to fight, Yuyutsum Samupastitam. Samyak Upasitam, they have assembled for what? They are Yuyutsus, wanting to fight. Each one very well prepared and well stationed. My limbs have lost their strength. Arjuna was so overwhelmed by the sight of his own people in both armies that his limbs gave in, succumbed to. They seem to have lost interest in performing their action functions. What this Gatrani? Gatrani completely surrendered. His hands did not want to lift or move in any way. It was the same with his legs. His mouth went dry and his whole body was trembling. His arms and legs were shaking and the hairs on his body were standing on end. This he did not want, but happens without his willing, without his wishing. Any intense emotion can trigger these physical reactions. So any physical reaction is nothing but the manifestation of this emotion. And if the emotion is intense, such things would manifest the body. By the description, we can understand Arjuna's condition. He himself explained to Krishna in the next verse. In this verse. So, Krishna, still holding the chariot steady, looked over his shoulder at Arjuna, listening to him. Later in the Gita, when the real dialogue between them began, he altered his position and turned around completely to face Arjuna. In the next verse, Arjuna continued describing his physical symptoms, telling Krishna that it was not possible for him to stand, let alone fight. When I could not stand, how can I fight? When my limbs are falling apart, how will I lift the weapon? I neither have mental strength nor the physical strength. So therefore, how can I fight? So that's what he's saying. So it's not possible for me to fight. He says in the next shloka, further he says, the weapon what he's holding in his hand, the bow, Gandiva, it is slipping from his hand. Let us read 30th shloka. Gandivam sramsate astat.
गान्धीवं स्वं सदे हस्तात्
त्वच्चैव परिदक्ष्यते
त्वचैव परिदक्ष्यते
न च शक्नोम्यवस्थातुम्
न च शक्नोम्यवस्थातुम्
रमतीव च मे मनः.
प्रमथीव च मे मनः.
Gandiva is the name of his weapon, the bow, special weapon. So its name is Gandiva. Sramsate falls from Astat, slips from the hand. He could not hold it, couldn't hold it because it doesn't have strength. Sidanti Mamagatrani, the limbs have lost strength. Suddenly, he lost all the strength. Such a brave person lost all strength, not even able to not lift, hold the Gandiva. Tvakcha eva paridagyate. Tvak is skin. Skin has become skin paridagyate. Dagdatu, to burn. Skin is burning. Nachashaknomi avastatam. Very serious situation. I am not able to even stand. Not able to stand means not that he can sit and fight. His legs have become so weak, lost the strength. He could not even stand. And Brahmati Iva me Manaha, my mind is totally confused. He clearly tells Manaha, it's all Manaha, my mind is totally confused. I don't know what to do. My mind is completely confused. Because the mind is confused, therefore only his limbs have lost their strength. There is trepidation all over the body, and there is burning sensation all over the body. The skin burns, not sunburn. Skin burns means it's a manifestation of this emotion. And Gandivam slips from his hand because he is confused now. Overpowered by compassion, the emotion, and that manifestation of that emotion can be clearly seen in his physical body. All the lakshanas are given. Then now he became confused. First is citing the enemies, not enemies. For Arjuna, it is not enemies. Citing my own kith and kin, that is first seeing them, and then realizing they are my people, and they are my people, and therefore imagining imagining them to be dead at the end of the war. He could not withstand that sorrow, that dukkam. So that caused pain, and therefore the pain, the dukkam, because of the dukkam, he lost his strength, and now not knowing what to do, he's confused now. Came to the battlefield to fight, now not knowing what to do, confused. The bow Kandiva slips from my hand, and my skin also burns. I cannot stand up, and my mind is totally confused, as it were. Arjuna's condition was such that his bow, known as Gandiva, was about to slip out of his hand. His entire body felt as though it was burning. Tok, skin is an indriya which pervades the entire body. So therefore, Tokcha Paridagyate means his entire body was burning. It was not even possible for him to stand properly in the chariot. Nacha Shaknomi Avastatum, Statum, to stand. He said to Krishna, it is not possible for me to stand, let alone fight. Avastatum, na Shaknomi. He also thought he was losing his mind. Brahmativa Chame Manasa, I am confused. My mind is confused. I don't know what to do. Because there is a sudden withdrawal, therefore confusion. Came to fight, now not wanting to fight. Confused. That is a confusion. As though this was not enough, he saw ill omens everywhere. Some negative signs also he saw, which he describes in the Shloka 31. Let us read. Nimitta nichapashyami
निमित्तानि च पश्यामि
viparita nikeshava
विपरीतानि केशव
nacha shreyo nupashyami
न च श्रेयोऽनुपश्यामि
hatva svajanamahave.
हत्वा स्वजनमाहवे
Pashyami aham pashyami nimittani viparitani nimittani. Viparita is that is not conducive. Pratikula, not anukula. Anukula nimittani, bad moments, bad signs. I see. Nacha shreyaha anupashyami. I don't see any good sign. Only bad moments, bad signs I see. In what? In killing them, swajanam, in killing my people. In killing my people, I don't see any good. I don't see any good in killing my people. I see bad omens and I don't see any good shayaha, any good thing, good what I will get by killing them. Atva, swajanam hatva, agave is battle. Yuddha kshetra, agave, in the battle. In the yuddhe, swajanam hatva, having killed, he had not yet killed, he's going to. Swajanam hatva, having killed them, I don't see any good, which is worth achieving. Therefore, he says, therefore only bad omens I could see. O Keshava, I see bad omens. I see no good in killing one's own people in this battle. He sees bad omens, therefore he say no good in killing one's own people. Seeing his own people standing there on both sides, Arjuna could see nothing good coming out of this battle. His own people would be destroyed. People like Bhishma and Drona. Even Duryodhana was his cousin after all. All the omens he saw, both psychological and physical, indicated to him an unpleasant outcome. This the physical, the emotion, the emotion which manifested physically, psychologically, physically, whatever changes happened in Arjuna, that was a sign that he saw bad omens. Could see that not pleasant, something not pleasant going to happen, and therefore by killing them, what good is going to get? The outcome of the war will be unpleasant. The outcome of the war, since it is unpleasant, therefore, what is the good in killing them? Therefore, Shreyaha na anupashyami. I don't see any point, any good worth achieving killing our own people, Swajanam. Further, he said, Nakankshe Vijayam Krishna
Nakangshe Vijayam Krishna
Acharajyam Sukhani cha
Nacharajam Sukhani cha
Kim no Rajena Govinda
Kim no Rajena Govinda
Kim Bhogairjivitena va.
Kim Bhogai Jividena va.
Hey Krishna, hey Govinda, addressing Krishna, hey Govinda. Govinda is a nice word, Govinda. Govinda is Go means Vedaha. Gam Vindati iti. Govindaha. So addressing the Lord, addressing Krishna as Govinda. Govindaha is Gobihi, Vanibihi, Vedanta Vakyehi Vindate iti Govindaha. The one who is attained through the words of the Vedanta is Govinda. That is Ishvara, Brahma. That is what Govinda. Gobihi is, Go means Shastra, Vedanta, Vedanta Vakya. That's called Go. Go means cow also, another meaning. But here it is Gobihi, Vedanta Vakyehi, Shabdaihi, Vanibihi, Vindate, iti Govindaha. The one who is attained by the words of the Vedanta. What is attained? The knowledge of Brahma. Therefore, Govinda. And Krishna, Akarshati iti Krishnaha. The one who attracts everyone, all, is called Krishna. So addressing A Krishna, A Govinda. Aham na kankshye. I don't want what Vijayam, neither victory, nor Rajyam, nor the Sukha, the pleasures which the Rajyam, the kingdom offers. I don't want anything. Suddenly, Vairagya, dispassion dawned in him. He didn't have the Vairagya before. Now, suddenly, he became dispassionate. Compassion made him dispassionate. In fact, this is not real dispassion. This is not real dispassion. This is not real Vairagya. Had he thought over about this before coming to the war and given up, then it is Vairagya. Vairagyam, it is Vairagyam, one of the sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, it is born of Viveka. But here the seeming Vairagya here, it is not born of Viveka, it is born of compassion, it is born of Parakrupa, not because of discrimination. So therefore, dispassion here not because of discrimination, but because of this compassion. Compassion born dispassion is not vairagya. Important thing. Compassion born dispassion is not vairagya. Discrimination born dispassion is vairagya. So therefore, Therefore, here, since he is overpowered by compassion, he says, I don't want victory. I don't want this kingdom. I don't want the pleasures which the kingdom offers. Kim no rajyena govinda, kim bhoge jivitena va. Kim no rajyena. What is the kinnaha means? Rajyena kim. What is the use of this kingdom? Bhoge jivitena va. And living with all the pleasures the rajyam, the kingdom offers. What is that? What is the use of that? Kim. Kim means here what is the use? Kim no kim rajyena naha asmakam. Kim naha rajyena. Kim no rajyena. No is naha. Asmakam naha. Shashti vibhakti. Asmat shabda. What good? What is the use of the rajya for us? What is the use of living with all the enjoyments which the kingdom offers? There is no use. Suddenly he discovers complete complete non-usefulness in gaining the kingdom, in gaining back the kingdom, Yastinapura. In the beginning, he wanted to get back because Duryodhana usurped the kingdom from the Pandavas. Now he says, what is the use of this? So a sudden change. Hey, O Krishna, I want neither victory nor the kingdom nor comforts. O Govinda, what use are kingdom enjoyments or even life to us? In fact, these are the words of a sadhu or a sannyasi or a person who has completely given up and taken to a life of recluse. This doesn't befit a kshatriya like Arjuna. Having come to the battle, such words are spoken. So therefore, it shows his mind is confused. He's not at home. Krishna knew all this, therefore silently he is listening. So first chapter is going to be the discourse of Arjuna. So Arjuna's lamentation. So Krishna would be silently listening. So henceforth will be Arjuna Vavacha. All the words are spoken by Arjuna. Because he knew that he would not be happy when this battle was over, Arjuna had no more desire for victory. Because the end is not pleasant, therefore, it suddenly he lost the desire for victory, Vijayam. Since Arjuna did not want victory, he would not get the kingdom back from Duryodhana. If he wanted the kingdom, the victory was important. But Arjuna said he did not want the kingdom also. Not having the kingdom meant that he would have to suffer. He would have to go back to the forest, perhaps, and live the life of an ascetic, living on roots and so on. Duryodhana would never allow him to stay in his kingdom. Why? Because as a compromise, when Krishna was sent as a diplomat to bargain, not to bargain, to negotiate with Duryodhana, Duryodhana refused to give even the land, even the land which the tip of a needle, even to the size of the tip of the needle, he refused to give. So therefore, Duryodhana naturally would not allow him to stay in his kingdom. He had already made that clear by refused to give him even a house. Therefore, was Arjuna ready to return to a life of deprivation without the comforts the kingdom would provide? He had just said he didn't want victory, the kingdom or comforts either. If there were no victory, there would be no kingdom, neither of which Arjuna wanted now. Without a kingdom, there would be no comfort, which also he no longer wanted. What did he want? He no longer cared. What do we get out of the kingdom? He asked. What do we get from all these enjoyments? Even by living, what do we get? Nothing. By destroying his own people, what would he get? If you destroy them, if destroying them would give him a kingdom, what kind of kingdom would it be? Arjuna did not think it would be a sane bargain at all. Even if he had commanded enjoyments, how could he enjoy them with the nightmares he would have because of having destroyed all of these people? So, therefore, Arjuna became dispassionate as though in this way Arjuna argued that victory, a kingdom, and even life itself are useless. Why? Because he says in the next shloka, 33rd shloka, we'll see that in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate
Namaste.
Purnasya
Purnasya
Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti
Shanti,
Shanti
Shanti,
Shanti.
Shanti.
Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi
Hari
Om.
Om.
Dhanyavadaha.
Dhanyavadaha. Thank you, sir.